A plant body is made up of two very important parts. One is called the root system, the other one is called the shoot system. Root is positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. Root transports or conducts water from downwards to upwards. The stem is modified into three types, that is underground stem modification, aerial stem modification and subaerial stem modification. Hello dear students, welcome back to session 3 of this very interesting chapter called Morphology of Flowering Plants. What did we study in the last session? Hope you remember that I explained about the root system. As I said, a plant body is made up of two very important parts. One is called the root system, the other one is called the shoot system. Root system is the part which grows below the soil and it is not much complicated when compared to the shoot system. And what was the usual functions of a root system? To fixation of the root firmly to the soil and conduction of water and dissolved mineral solutes. And as I said, sometimes besides this original function, sometimes the roots get themselves modified to perform some special functions, and that special functions like to give mechanical support, for food storage, for respiration. What are we going to study in today's session? So till the last session we were studying about the root system, the part that grows below the soil. And as I said, the root system, as I said, there are three types of root system: the taproot system, fibrous root system and adventitious root system. Taproot system develops from the radicle of a seed. Fibrous root system develops from the base of the stem, and the adventitious roots neither develop from the radicle nor from the base of the stem. They develop from any other part of a plant body. Such roots are called as adventitious roots. Comparatively, root system is much simpler than compared to the shoot system. In today's session, I am going to deal about the part which grows above the soil, the part which grows. So this is the part which is below the soil, and this is the part which is above the soil. So the part which grows below the soil we call it as root, and the part which grows above the soil we call it as shoot or the shoot system, which is more complicated, and this is more simpler. Why do we call root system is more simpler? It has the primary root, primary into secondary, secondary into tertiary roots. But here you can see in the shoot system what are all the different parts that are included. It includes the stem, the branches, the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, etc. So when compared to the root system, shoot system is more complicated. It has many things involved in it, right? So moving on to the today's session, that is about the shoot system. So we call the root system as the underground part of a plant body, whereas shoot system is called as the aerial part of the plant body. Why do we call it as aerial? The part which grows above the soil. So most of the parts of the shoot system is above the soil, hence the name aerial part of the plant body, which consists of what? As I said, when compared to the root system, shoot system is more complicated, having many parts involved like the stem, branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. So what is a shoot system? It is the aerial part of the plant body which grows above the soil, and shoot system is positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic. Whereas root was what? It was negatively phototrophic and positively geotrophic. Root has more affinity towards the soil, whereas the shoot has more affinity towards the air, right? So it is, the shoot system is positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic. So what is it? Shoot system is the aerial part of a plant body which consists of stem, branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. The main stem and its branches is called the shoot, helps in support. So what is the main function of the stem. It bears all the other parts of the plant body, as well as it is also giving what? Support and conduction of water and minerals. And stem is also very much involved in what? Conduction of water and mineral salts. As I said, root conducts water from downwards to upwards, whereas the leaves are a phloem. As I said, xylem conducts water from downwards to upwards, whereas phloem conducts food from upwards to downwards. As you know, phloem is, that is, the food is prepared where? In the leaves, and leaves is a part of a shoot system. So the main stem and its branches is called the shoot, help in support and conduction of water and minerals. So shoot system is also equally a very important part of a plant body, just like the root system. So here you can see the fruits, here you can see the leaves, here you can see the flowers, right? So it is more complicated when compared to root system. So root system has what? Main primary root, primary into secondary roots, and the tertiary roots. So what is a shoot system? Shoot system is the aerial part of the plant body, consists of stem, branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. The main stem and its branches is called as shoot, help in support and conduction of water and minerals. As I said, shoot system is positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic, right? Moving on to the next, very important. So what was the usual function of the root system? Fixation of the firmly fixation to the soil, absorption and conduction of mineral salts and water. So the point or position on the stem and branches where the leaf arises is called as the node. Suppose if this is the stem and from here the leaf arises, so this point is called as the node, and the distance between two nodes is called as what? Internodes. So what are nodes? Node is the region where the leaf arises. So the leaf is going to arise from the node region. So where do you come across the node region? On the stem, on the shoot system. So the point or position of the stem and branches where leaf arises is called as node, and the regions between nodes is called as what? Internodes. The axil of the leaf usually bears an axillary bud. So here you can see sometimes the bud like this. This is a bud. This is called as axillary bud. The bud which arises, this is called as an axil. The bud which arises from the axil of a axil is called as what? It is called as axillary bud. The axil of a leaf usually bears an axillary bud, and the tip of the shoot bears the apical bud or terminal bud. For example, here if it is one bud is this is called as a terminal bud, or it is called as the apical bud. What is a bud? Bud is nothing but young one of a flower. Young one of a flower is called bud, which blooms or flowers to become a flower. So the point or position of the stem and the branches where the leaf arises is called as a node, and the regions between the nodes is called as internode. And the axil of the leaf usually bears an axillary bud, and the tip of the shoot bears the apical bud or the terminal bud. The axillary bud later develops into a branch. The stem and its branch and leaves are the vegetative parts of the plants. Hope you remember that the plant parts also take part in asexual reproduction, right? So what do you mean by the vegetative part? The plant parts are called as vegetative parts or vegetative structures, which take part in vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction in plants is called as asexual reproduction. It is called as what? Asexual reproduction. So the plant parts like the leaf, as I think you have come across in bryophyllum, the leaf bud will take part in the process of reproduction. For offset, in case of eichhornia, sucker in case of chrysanthemum, eye of a potato. You might have seen a sprout on a potato. So that is called as eye. So that will also take part in the process of reproduction. So the plant parts also will take part in reproduction, and such parts are called as vegetative parts or vegetative structures, which are going to take part in a asexual kind of reproduction called vegetative reproduction. So the stem and its branches and leaves are the vegetative parts of the plants. And I think all of us know flowers. Flowers are the beauty of a plant, and they are very important parts of a plant body because they are the reproductive parts of a plant body. Flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant body, which bears what? Androecium A, that is the male reproductive organ, whereas the gynoecium, the symbol we use like this, that is the female reproductive organ. So flower is what? The reproductive part of the plant. So as I said, the ovary of a flower will develop into a fruit, and the ovules will develop into seeds. As you know, seeds are very important. They are the developing embryo, right? Now the leaves, as you know, the leaves are very important. Leaves, we call it as the photosynthetic apparatus of a plant body. They are called as photosynthetic apparatus of a plant body. Why? Because they carry on what? Photosynthesis. They carry on what? The process of photosynthesis by using the raw materials like what? Why the plant leaves are green in color? They have what? They have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, which is a green pigment, which is one of the very important raw material. As you know, the chlorophyll A will absorb the solar energy in the form of photons. Anyhow, we are going to study about photosynthesis in one of the chapters, so you will understand what is the role of chlorophyll, right? So what is the role of a leaf in carrying on a very important physiological process called photosynthesis. So all these are the parts. Why I am talking about all this? These are all the parts that are included in the shoot system. So shoot system is a very important part of a plant body. So the leaves. And what is the prepared food of plants called? Prepared food of plants is nothing but called starch. Starch is nothing but a polysaccharide, and polysaccharide is nothing but a carbohydrate. So the leaves synthesize carbohydrates by a process called photosynthesis. So I repeat, the point or a position of the stem and branches where leaf arises is called as a node, and the regions between two nodes is called as what? Internode. The axil of the leaf usually bears an axillary bud, and the tip of the shoot bears the apical bud or a terminal bud. The axillary bud later develops into a branch, and branch in turn will also develop into fruits. Then the stem, flowers, fruits, etc. The stem and its branches and leaves are the vegetative parts of the plant which take part in vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is nothing but a kind of asexual reproduction in plants. Asexual reproduction in plants is called vegetative reproduction, or it is also called as vegetative propagation. And the very important parts of a shoot system are the flowers. Why? Because flowers are the reproductive part of a plant body which bears androecium, the male reproductive part, and gynoecium, the female reproductive part, and after the fusion they form the zygote. Zygote develops into what? The zygote develops into an embryo. So the ovary will develop into a fruit, and the ovules will develop into seed. And as I said, the leaves are the very important photosynthetic apparatus of a plant body as they synthesize the food called starch. Starch is nothing but a polysaccharide. Polysaccharide is nothing but a carbohydrate. As you know, plants are autotrophs. They manufacture their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Now, as I said, the stem. Here you can see the beautiful picture of a stem. Stems are, some stems are green in color. Green in color, particularly the young stems. They also carry on what? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. So stem is, so what is stem? As I said, stem is positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic. Very important point. Whereas root is positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. You never, except for the pneumatophores, you find the roots. And for example, like in case of banyan tree, the advantageous roots develop from the branches. Usually the roots are found growing below the soil and they are positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. Then stem is called as the ascending part. Root is called as the descending part, the part which grows below the soil, whereas shoot is the part which grows above the soil. So it is also called as what? Aerial part. So stem is an ascending part of a plant body which develops from the plumule. Yes, very important. I forgot to say that. So root, that is the radical of a seed, develops into root, and the plumule of a seed develop into shoot, right? So radical, root. So in a seed you come across one part called radical will develop and plumule will develop into shoot. So as soon as you sow a seed, it sprouts, it germinates. So one part of the seed develops into root system, and what is that part which develops into root system? That is a radical. And one part of the seed develops into that is the one part of the seed called plumule develops into the shoot system which is above the soil. So shoot is an ascending part of a plant body, root is a descending part of a plant body. As I said, from the plumule of the germinating embryo, it bears branches, leaves and fruits. Moving on to the functions of the stem. What were the usual functions of the root? Do the comparative study to remember the points, children, right? So I hope you remember the functions of the root. What were the functions of root? Functions of root. First is what? Anchorage. Or what? Fixation to the soil. Then next what? Absorption. Absorption of water and dissolved mineral salts. Third is what? Conduction. What do you mean by conduction? Transportation. Conduction or these are the usual, what do you call it as, functions of root. Then what are the functions of stem? As I said, root is comparatively simpler when compared to shoot system. Shoot system is more complicated with so many structures like the branches, the leaves, the flowers, fruits, etc., right? Now, what is the main function of the stem? The spreading out branches, very important. So more the branching, more the leaves, more will be the rate of photosynthesis. Then it bears flowers. Flowers are what? The reproductive part of a plant body which will undergo what? Fusion or fertilization to form what? To form an embryo. Embryo will develop into what? As I said, fruit. Ovary develops into a fruit. So fruit is what? Fruit is nothing but a ripened ovary. Fruit is a ripened ovary. Other than that, so what is the first very important part? Function of a stem? Stem bears all the very important parts of a plant body like the branches, the leaves, the flowers, the buds, etc. The next what? It conducts water and wind. Very important. Root and the shoot does a very important process of what? Conduction. Conduction, or it is also called as what? Transportation. Transportation of what? Food and water. Very, very prime requirements. Prime requirements for plants. Just like how food and water is a prime requirement for animals, so also for plants, food and water is very much important. So they help in conduction or transportation. As I said, root transports or conducts water from downwards to upwards, whereas the shoot or the phloem conducts water or food from upwards to conducts food from upwards to downwards. Then next, it performs photosynthesis when it is green. So stem also, as I said, it is green in color. So when it is green in color, it also helps in what? Photosynthesis. When it is not, so when it is completely developed and matured, it is brownish in color. So in that case, it has the only function of giving mechanical support. So if it is green in color, so when the stem is in young developing stage, it is green in color, obviously it will help in what? Photosynthesis. And as I said, some stems perform the function of store. Even as I said, just like a root, even the stem also gets modified to undergo some special functions. Just like the root, other than the usual or original functions, even the stem also gets itself modified. What for? Modified to perform some special function. What is modification? Slight change from the original appearance. Why does it undergo modification? To serve some special functions like what? Like storage of food, mechanical support, protection and vegetative propagation. That is for asexual reproduction. So perform function of what? Storage of food, support, protection. Protection, how well, for example, they develop into what? Thorns. Thorns are for defense. Then vegetative propagation, as I said, plant parts take part in vegetative or asexual reproduction. So what are the main functions of stem? Spreading out branches, bearing leaves, flowers and fruits. Next, it conducts water and minerals. It performs photosynthesis when it is green. Some stems perform the function of only when they get modified. Stem modification, you call it as stem modification. What is stem modification? Slight change from the original appearance to what? To perform what? Some special functions. Special functions like what? Storage of food, then support, mechanical support, protection and for vegetative propagation. So modifications of stem. As I said, the stem get themselves modified, right? So they are modified to perform different functions. So here we modify that stem modifications into underground stem modification, aerial stem modification and 3 subaerial stem modifications. So here we come across the underground stem modifications. For example, I think all of you, underground stem modifications for what? For food storage. Hope all of you know potato. Then this one, ginger. They are all examples for what? Potato, then ginger. They are all stem modifications for what? For food storage. They are modified, stem modifications modified for food storage. I think all of us know in everyday life we use ginger, and particularly at this point of time, corona time, I think we are advised to eat more of use more of ginger. So it is going to boost our immunity and also helps to fight against coronavirus, right? So ginger and even potato, you know, it is a starchy food and it is used as a binding food for most of the, like for example your pani puri, masala puri, all that. So potato is used as a binding agent, right? Because it is a starchy food and it acts as a binding material. So it is what? For example, like potato, ginger, turmeric, jamaican, colocasia, they are all modified for food storage, and they also act as what? Organs of perennation. Like if you come across like you cut the ginger where the roots are. Here you can see the adventitious roots. You cut this piece and sow it in the soil. Sow it in the soil. We get a new ginger plant. Here you can see the bud. Bud is sprouted. And this you call it as what? Eye. So even this is used for what? Vegetative reproduction. It is used for vegetative reproduction. So sometimes, as I said, stems themselves get modified to perform some special functions like food storage, then to give mechanical support, protection, all that. So in that we can see the underground stem modifications. Moving across the aerial stem modifications. As I said, the whole of the stem modification is broadly classified into underground stem modification, aerial stem modification, and subaerial stem modification. So aerial stem modifications. So for example, tendrils. You might have come across tendrils like spring-like structures. Tendrils which develop from axillary buds of stem are spirally coiled and help plants to climb as in grounds. For example, like you can come across in pumpkins, cucumber and watermelon. So when the stems are very weak, they cannot stand on their own. So what do they develop? They develop spring-like structures and they act as a supporting structures to grow on some other plants. Like for example, you might have come across pumpkin, cucumber, watermelon. So tendrils which they are for what? For mechanical support. Then thorns. Thorns are mainly for what? To protect. They are used as defense. They are used for defense from predating animals, or you can also call it as grazing animals. Predator animals or from grazing animals. So when they come across the animals, when come across these thorns, they're afraid to go and eat them. So they act as what? Defense. So sometimes even the stem gets itself modified into a hard spiny structure called thorn. So thorn is what? Hard, pointed, very important, pointed, spiny structure. Spiny structure. So which is used for what? For defense. You come across in citrus, you come across in bougainvillea. They protect the plants from browsing animals and even from the grazing animals. So here you can see this tendril. See, you can see the spring-like structures. Spring-like or coil. They are what? For mechanical support. This is for mechanical support. They take the support of the other plants and grow. The next, some plants of arid regions. Arid regions means like for example like xerophytic conditions where the water content is very less. Modified their stem into what you call it as flattened structures called phylloclads. Hope you might have come across in Opuntia. So they are fleshy cylindrical structures. Like you can also come across in Euphorbia. They contain chlorophyll and carry out photosynthesis. See here you can see spines. And you can see the flat structures. Flat structures. They are also modified for what? Because they want, here the leaf is, so here you don't find the leaf. The stem itself is modified into a leaf to carry on the process of photosynthesis. Hence it is green in color. And why it is spiny? To protect itself from the grazing animals, from the browsing animals. Right? All these are the modifications of stem. So what is it? As I said, the stem is modified into three types. That is underground stem modification, aerial stem modification and subaerial stem modification. So in aerial stem modification we come across tendrils. Here you can see the beautiful picture of tendrils. Tendrils which develop from axillary buds of stem are spirally coiled and help plants to climb as in ground like in pumpkins, cucumber, watermelon. Thorns, they are also one. The axillary buds of stem gets modified in woody, straight and pointed thorns. For what? Mainly for defense. So like citrus, bougainvillea, they protect plants from browsing animals. Then you come across in some arid regions, the stem gets themselves modified into flattened structure. What do you call that flattened structure? Phylloclad, like Opuntia, cactus. Then fleshy cylindrical structures like Euphorbia, they contain chlorophyll and carry out photosynthesis. Hope you have understood all the concepts what I have explained in this session of this very interesting chapter called Morphology of Flowering Plants about the shoot system. So I'll be back in the coming session with some more concepts of this very interesting chapter called Morphology of Flowering Plants. Till then, goodbye and thank you.